Hello everyone, Busy Gamer Dad back again for our third and final session recording for Moonring. If you don't know what a session recording is or a session gameplay is on the Busy Gamer Dad channel, we take a look at a game over the course of about 20-30 minutes, 3 episodes, and see if it's a game that suits your fancy, see if it's something that you like, something you didn't know existed, something you totally forgot existed. If that is the case, I will have a description for the game and a link for the game where I believe are the only places to pick it up. I might miss a few here and there, but mostly I get a lot of them from Steam and from PlayStation and Switch, a little bit from Xbox and from the Epic Store. So I do my best to give you guys those links to have them at your disposal or perusal if you so choose. Perusal is such a fun word because it sounds almost like you're going to swear, but then you're not, and you sound way more sophisticated, way more smart, much more smarter. Anyways, Moonring, the game, we've been having a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with it. This is the game, and right now, what you're seeing on your screen. Sorry for the overlay hiccup there, but the game on the screen that you're seeing right now is exactly it. This is harken back to like the early 90s, mid 90s style of games, where you have a unit interface on the left side where you've got your abilities on the hotbar. You got a text box here, you've got your various stats and updates and things like that, and then on the right hand side is the pane for viewing the game, and some people may say pain is in P-A-I-N. This is how games look. This is what games were back in the day. Get used to it. They've evolved quite a bit, but this is awesome to me. This is like, yeah, I get you, I feel you, I see you. So this is a free game. Also, I should lead in with that and let you guys know that this is completely free at the time of recording. So if you have any ideas on playing this game, go and pick it up. It's a lot of fun. It really is. Even if you don't play it all the way through, even if you just get it as a metric or a milestone to be like, oh, okay, this is where the video game industry was, and this is where we're coming back to, in a sense. This developer is a former developer of Fable, so the story has a wonderful narrative. Basically, what I've gleaned is that there are 5 gods, and we are what's called dreamless, where we don't dream of any god in particular, and that's kind of how you connect to a god that is associated with a moon in this world. And you can do certain things inside the game where so these are like devotion points, and you can devote yourself to a god, and when you do that, the energy for the various abilities for that god costs 50% less. So if a certain playstyle is what you feel is better suited for you and to enjoy this game, then look at what gods potentially have the best ability set for you to do that with and enjoy. The next thing, if you don't do that, is I believe these are universal. You can still do these even if you do pledge to a god, but you get these devotional tasks, and this was a really cool thing. It's retroactive. So when you unlock this pane of, or unlock this tab inside the inside the unit interface, or inside the status, or inside the game, when you unlock this feature, it is retroactive. So you have to kill 200 enemies. I had already, when I got my first devotion point, it lets you drop it into any one of these spots here. And when you get what's called a devotion tier, that's what you can use to consume to get a devotion point, and then put it into any one of these guys, these gods, tier list and things like that. But the retroactive part of it was I had already gotten like 30 or 40 kill 200 enemies or defeat 200 enemies. So the story kind of took me in a little bit of a weird way. Right now, as I understand it, we're going to, where am I at? I need to go into here, go into my notes, and this is another cool thing about the game, is it's really a cool fleshed out world where there's a lot of stuff that is auto tagged for you. This is going to probably be one of, and I've said this before, one of the major problems for some people to play this game is the text for the narrative is you have to enter in certain buzzwords that show up in a different colored script, or in different colored font when you're talking with people. Case in point, what brought us here was we talked to the former Archon. The former Archon was a guy by the name of Nevin, who basically had his mind broken, is all I can say. Like, he's a shell of what he was. And he told us to come to this city where Barrow Lynn is a city across the water. and I took a boat and I got us to here. I also did a few things around in the area to move us around, and like I said, I brought us back in where I think I have a lot of good points to talk about. So, like, case in point right here, if we talk to this guard, if he stops ducking me, I don't think he wants to talk to me. Alright, good. Okay, cool. So he'll tell you what's inside the town. I thought I had to be right next to him, but I guess I don't. He'll tell us what's inside the town here. You know, they have the general things like that. But we're looking for a, like, Roche is the guy's name, and I'm not sure where he would be or what to do to try and find him. This is another interesting mechanic. In the hometowns for the various gods, you can get standing, and that affects your, essentially the commerce of the town. A really cool idea, and you can always find out by paying 10 gold to find out what you think the town thinks of you. I don't really need to do that, don't want to do that. And then you can also see, if you look real close, this is tagged as new. We haven't talked to this guy, and this is exactly what the game is like. I like to visit the ancestors every so often. So this is where you're gonna talk to everybody, and then you see how it pops up this little queue, or up at the top we see the topics discussed. We can actually talk, and it autofills if you press tab by, you know, you enter in the first few letters and then it'll autofill. You got to be a little bit careful, like if it has strength or strengths with multiple plural, it only does the first one, so you got to be careful, otherwise you're going to go down a rabbit hole. This is way more refined than, excuse me, with older games, when you would get into these endless loops because you misspelled something or things like that. It's very well done. I think they did a great job with it. The Great Osari. It is where we store the remains of those who come before us. You should visit them. They would like that, I think. Hard to tell, though. They aren't very chatty. So, the next thing is, there are certain items or certain contextual cues that you can bring up that are hidden, in a sense, because they just, it's like you're actually having a conversation, and this person will be prompted to potentially say something to you. And see, so Roche wasn't brought up at all, but that's who we're here for, to try and find. And they know that Roche, long dead by now, surely. Alright, so we basically have to find out where Roche is and see if we can talk to them, because supposedly they were in our father's party or related to our father in some way. This is the armory shop. I don't necessarily want to do this, but I do want to see this book. Ancient Ciberune 4. One word catches your eyes. So, okay, cool. So we get a bunch of, there's a lot of notes in the game too that are really cool to pick up and figure out. So this is the god's hometown. I don't remember what they were. What were they? We're Lord of Dusts. And so the gods associate themselves with the with the 5 basic attributes of your character. You know, you have your strength, you have your finesse, you have intelligence or intellect, you have perception, and then you have endurance. Luck, I don't know if there's another god out there that's like hidden that you can get information from, but when you look at these quests right here, visit Lord of Dust hometown. This is the hometown Barolin for the Lord of Dust. If we were to go to these other places, we would be able to unlock more points for that various god to unlock various abilities here, and you can see the cost of the points there. And then I haven't spent these yet because I want to try and go through them with you. I don't know what bloodstones are. I have not picked any up. I don't know if we start getting them when we get this ability. These ruby crystals explode on contact, and any creature or weapon shards cause bleed. Interesting. Convert a fraction of all status effects into health. That's not terrible. That's actually really not terrible at all. See what's around you regardless of walls, including traps and secret doors. This could be very useful. But why is that here instead of under, like, the perception tree? Oh, I can lay a poison trap? That would be nice, too. We have 2 points. I would rather try and go for something that costs more. Being that we're kind of in a melee build situation, I'm leaning towards getting maybe the status effect one, because I got starched when I was playing through a cave with... I was getting lit on fire pretty much every 2 seconds. Alter focus of amber oil. Okay. Alter the focus of your lamp to burn enemies with the amber oil. Wow. So that basically just focuses fire. Let's do the status effect one. Let's get that one. Is that passive now? It looks like it's passive, question mark? No, I actually have to use it. Okay, cool. All right, and then I put my potions back on my hotbar under 4. So this is it looks very utilitarian, this UI, and everything like that. But once you play around with it for a little bit, I guarantee you will understand it intuitively. It functions very well. This is cell swords. Yeah, cell swords. I don't really need any cell swords right now. Those are good ways to offset any type of, fights that you might get into. I don't need any other weapons. I have a rapier right now. I picked that up when I was spelunking in a dungeon. I don't need to rest. Well, yeah, I guess I should rest. I'm pretty beat up. So you do have certain meters up here. Health. Poise is, once this breaks, then you start taking damage. Unless you're like status effect damage, like poison or fire or things like that. This is my energy level for my various abilities down here. You can see the points of energy that it takes right there. You have food in this game. You do have light in this game. You do have, I believe this is like your movement, essentially, and then this is our ranged attack. That's the town guard. And I broke that. I didn't mean to. Okay, the guard doesn't really care. Thank you. Okay. So you can do friendly fire inside towns as well. I'm not certain if I ever want to do that. I don't know the situation that I would want to do that. Oh, so this is where the town standing is, right here. The town prosperity, I should say. This is quite a bit. Giving... absolve you of all sins against this god. Okay, so this is the mechanic that I wanted to make sure I showed you guys. It looks like when you go to the hometown, if you do something to anger a god, you can pay off the debt via gold. Because you know what? Organized religion doesn't like money. Alright, so this is more food stuff, but you find a tree's amber, and the role of Thartius Roche played in enabling Valerians to survive and during. So this is again, that's who the guy we're going for. One book catches your eye, Why We Forget. It notes how ages past people grew from children to adulthood rather than emerging mindless and fully formed from... Okay, so that's a deep concept right there. The reason why I'm bumping into walls is because there are hidden doors and hidden chests and things like that. We're going to want to make sure that we're looking for those, and we're also looking for all these books because the lore really helps you understand what's going on in the game and enjoy the world immersion and the narrative drive of it. One book is describing circles states that both entry and exit points must be known, and that the direction of entered their center. See, that's very engineering. So that's hinges. Okay, so that's kind of bringing a real world concept of like Stonehenge into this. All right, so we're in the home. This is the first like home base of a god that I've been to, and it looks like they have done it proper in the sense of like created a situation where they are just like the owner of the town. Wisdom, ancient. So let's do the wisdom. All Kaldarians live amongst the bones of the Siberun Empire. We should be fools not to learn from their works. What is Siberun? So there was long ago their works remain. Alright, so then works again. And the sun is an extraordinary. So the god here, the Lord of Dust is devoted to intelligence, and in this world there's like high fantasy in the sense of like almost near sci-fi fantasy, where there's these mech creatures that you can fight, not just your goblins or bandits or things like that, but there's legit like automatons that are still active and driven by some magical mystical force that this world and society has forgotten how to make. And this god, as I understand it, is like delving into understanding why there are things that are still out of their understanding. And that's why that one book talked about how we were born without the previous knowledge, but it seems like there was something understanding going on by the like of making sure that you knew how to understand that as the character. We're merely knowledge and creation. Okay, so then we've got to go to the ancients. And let's see. The Lord of Dust. Although they prefer divine gifts to direct actions. Lord of Dust. So that's interesting to find out. They value knowledge and reason. See, so that's this god's ideals. And other ones, you know, strength. Other ones, you know, cunning. And various other things like endurance, being able to endure hard times and trials and things. And thus we also did life and death. So let's see what that says. Death. Ancestors' bones lie beneath the city, keeping vigil. You should visit them yourself. So we should go down and... this is steering me to believe that they lie down the street just east of here. Okay, so this is leading me to believe that we need to get to where the burial site is and maybe attempt to contact the dead. Each gift help us travel the world more safely. So it's very much like... almost like the Wheel of Time, if you've read those books, where there's just a collapse in the society. And I'm not certain why. It's not at least evident to me at this point when my game is going on. And I'm a few hours into this that I'm showing you guys right here. But I do know that each god has almost like a holy relic, like, you know, akin to the Bible or the Torah. And they have, or the Quran. They have this holy relic that is like a symbol of their godhood or a symbol of your deity manifested in physical form. And all of them are missing. Go figure. You know, something like that they might want to keep under better control. Such ambition, the heart is far away, hidden deep in the repository. So, alas, you are unlikely to see it in your lifetime. So basically they're saying that we need to go down into the repository and find out where this thing is. The repository lies across the sea on a distant island. One that can only be reached by those with deep knowledge of the stone circles. So, more Sivaroon ingenuity. They allow those who know their secret to travel all around. So basically teleportation. That's what these circles are. And then unlikely because they probably lost the way of knowing how to handle that technology or how to activate the technology. Can reach by lost circle. One would need a locust box to find it. And those are rare and functioning ones are rarer. So I'm going to advance this story and then I'll come back in once I'm through. Okay, so I wanted to bring you back in here just real quick because I was looking around inside checking out the bookshelves and I found a damaged map. You can vaguely make out the location where 4 lakes meet. It is so that again seems to be like the big thing about this game is you have the ability to open up the map and then look and see where things are. And I'm not entirely certain. So this one right here is where it is. Interesting. So we have to go back across the continent and maybe go far north. But this game really does pride itself, and the idea behind this game is to explore and to get into the nitty-gritty minutia of understanding where you need to go. And I believe this is where we're going to go now. Yeah, we're going to go down and talk with the ancestors. Oh, they passed into dust. So basically they worship the past, it sounds like. And to do that, we follow the Lord of Dust. Venerable those who have gone before us. Yeah, so basically they are seekers of knowledge, but they also seem to be hoarders of knowledge. The henge rings or the locust box that you see in the text box over on the left, that is like basically the devices that drive the teleporters, because again there's an idea that you are in this age of mysticism where you've forgotten what powers the world had. I mean, magic still exists, it quite truly does. But the problem with it is you don't remember how to use it, or your society does lack the knowledge of how it worked in the first place. So we're gonna go into here. So that's there. Let's see what he says about Rocher. Long day. Surely you knew that. All right, fair enough. So we're gonna go down in here. I don't know if this is like a dungeon. It doesn't look like it's a dungeon. Looks like it's... Yeah, it looks like these are all basic places of just a tomb. And this is like paying respects. I don't think there's anything down here, but I'm gonna bump into the walls like an... There we go. Yep. And then what's in here? Balin's key. What is that? Or Bale's key? Yeah, Bale's key, not Balin. Bale's. A device whittled from the finger bone. Okay. Of some great creature and formed into something, a wand and a key. It was created by Andrea Ballon, Rocher's student, in order to seal and unseal certain standing stones shortly after the cataclysm. Okay, so there is a cataclysm in this world for his reason. Okay. All right, so we now have this key. No clue where it goes or what it does. But again, that's why you bump into the walls and you try and find out if there are any hidden, squirreled away secrets. And this is pretty cool. We got that. I think that's all we need to go from here. That's the only reason why we're here. Let's get ourselves into something a little bit more interesting than just wandering around the town. I'll bring us back in, again, I'm sorry for the jump cuts, but I'll bring us back in when we go outside the town to do some more fun adventuring. Okay, so I brought us back in here. I got a bunch of notes inside the town that basically said, you know, come here, do this, that thing, and have some fun exploring the world. But the problem I'm running into right now is we are in a bit of a situation where Amber is bad. We do not want to mess around with Amber. And that's why, because now we're basically allowing ourselves to go mad. Amber is, as far as I can tell, a toxin in the world that is just always there and always floating around. Again, that's part of it seems like the cataclysm. Yeah, see, so it's like you've got to be very careful about what is going on, and it looks like that water's on fire. I don't know where I want to go. It looks like I'm mad for a little while. I'm looking for this flower right here. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, we're gonna get ourselves out of here, and then we're gonna go into the ruins right here. So this is kind of where the game leaves you to your own devices, and right now we found these runes, and we're going to try and go into them. And you can go into a stealth mode, and it looks like this is where there's going to be some mechanics. Geez, now. Interesting. Looks like because we're mad, we have kind of lost our ability to be quiet. And now we're a duck. Interesting. So again, this is one of the big things. Okay, good. We're no longer insane. That's great. So these are the machinations that you see inside the game. And needle construct. Okay, so if you've ever played a game like Gloomhaven or Frosthaven, that's kind of the world that this game seems to be going for, where you have these fantastical machinations, but you also have magic in the world. And so you have those two ideals combined in a wonderful game, honestly. And it does a lot to flesh out the world. It looks like everything's locked. Oh, this one's not. We got a Rosetta. Okay, cool. So that identifies objects that we don't know. And I don't know if we're able to get ourselves in here. Doesn't look like we'll be actually able to. We might have to come back at a later date, or maybe come in. Well, this is just to the outside world, so that's fine. These runes can be, this is a lesser rune, so it's probably not far-fetched to think that you just can't get inside here, because I don't know how I would. It looks like it's locked, and I don't see any other keys or anything like that. We didn't get any keys, so oh shoot, our food is decaying. Let's see here. We have some stuff there. I'd rather not have it go bad. Everywhere. Moldy, yeah. Alright, let's eat it. I don't want to, but I will. And then we have the rot, and we have torpid. That's fine. As fine as it can be. We'll have to... So, looks like this is where we needed to go. This is the place, and let's have some fun. Let's see what happens while we get in here. We might get our heads torn off. Oh, another identifier. Cool. A rock. Okay. So, I don't know, are you coming at me? Okay, fine, you're coming at me. I'm gonna shoot you. Resist bleed. Resist, so he's hitting me from on far. Okay, so he can hit me pretty far away. So I need to close gap with them. And it looks like... Ouch, that hurt a lot. I don't know if I want to... I could do the Berserk. Looks like we're okay for now. Oh, I hit the barrel. I fat fingered that. We do recover HP over time, but it's just better to... Yep, so I stepped on a trap, I think? Something hit you with crossbow damage. Yeah, so I stepped on a trap. That's what it was. The game is actually really forgiving because it puts us right outside, and it looks like it took care of all the bad status effects on us. Not a bad thing. Now, this is the fun part about this game. If you fail inside a dungeon, or runes or something, you get reset, and the game basically makes it all over again for you in a procedural generation kind of fashion. I need to heal. I need to drink. And there's something in there shooting me. So our poise is coming up over time, but our HP takes a lot longer. Oh. I'm just gonna pass. So you can lie and wait for enemy. Oh, he healed. I didn't know they would do that. Interesting. So you can lie and wait for enemies, and you can go in quiet mode and handle it that way. Q is going in like sneak mode, but when you step on the chains, it oh, he saw me. You went invisible? Pale Forgotten. That's interesting. I didn't think they would go invisible. Yep, so... Interesting. So we definitely need to sneak around inside this place, because if we don't, we're basically... Oh, he saw me. Oh, we got him. Nice. Okay, cool. Moldy fruit. Looks like everything in here is kind of just disgusting. Oh, and I walked right on it. Narrowly avoided a rot trap. Okay, well, I'm glad that I saw it, but I still stepped on it like a noob. Okay, let's move around inside here, see if there's anything else. You'll know when you've gotten through a dungeon or a rune because it will give you an item that is pretty powerful. Then the challenge is getting back out, because you don't have to fight anything. Something hit him and killed him. So it looks like the Forgottens fight each other. I was not expecting... That's Amber. I don't want to fight that. And I don't want to go to that. Oh, something bashed the door. And basically the amber is flooding out now. Okay. I think I made it out. Okay, good. Whew. So yeah, the amber was killing that thing. How you combat the amber is by your lantern. I don't know where... I don't know the full functionality of the lantern. In some of those jars, there's amber oil, and you can fill up your lantern, and it activates a light source around you, which disperses the amber, but and doesn't make you mad when you're walking through it. But I don't know how to turn off the lantern after it's been on. Or activated, and that to me is like a not intuitive thing. I wish it were more intuitive, because I would love to be able to douse my lantern and then Oh, secret door. Maybe not so secret. And then be able to relight it later. Let me go quiet. Yep, there. I knew there was somebody there. Because you can see the steps on the screen. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything for us here. It looks like we will need some amber oil to get ourselves further inside the dungeon here. And we know there's something over here. We just don't know how to... So that tells me, like, we hear it moving along the walls. That means we got to look for a secret door. So that's why I like this game, because it basically has you enraged. Yeah, it looks like the pale ones. I'm back. Yeah, okay. So if I missed. Got him. Nice. Okay, cool. I don't want to step on that. A beetle. Dead beetle. Yeah, okay, so it looks like there's nothing else in this room. This room is just for those guys to... I don't know, it's the rumpus room. I don't know. Okay, so it looks like we need to find some amber oil if we want to fully... spelunk down into this dungeon here. There might be a door here. Maybe not. And you can tell on the map usually where there's going to be hidden crevasses and doors. Even two-tile doorways exist, and you can find really important stuff inside them. And looking on your map for where the steps are and what you hear, that was a really smart idea for the developers to entice the player to explore. Now, let me see here real quick. There we are. Okay, cool. So you can actually carry oil in your lantern to refuel your lantern, and that's kind of the big thing. Nice. Okay, so we got some bolts. Several traps all over the place. Oh, and I got a mace? Did I find a mace? Throwing daggers. A hand axe. Are they any good? Let's see here. So the mace requires endurance. I don't have that, but that would be really good to have. That's a huge uptick for damage output. The hand axe requires strength, and I do have that, and it looks like it's on par with the rapier. Actually, it's not. It's... So the hand axe does more base damage, but less crits. We can try it and see. I'm really enjoying getting the crits. And it does look like it... Yeah, let's try this. Let's see what happens. I mean, the worst that can happen is we fail horribly. And that's fine. I've done that before. And our character model does change. So while we still have our lantern going, I'm going to want to try and get in here. So we did a good amount of base damage to them, and I'm going to let my... wanted to get my poise back up, and that worked out. So I passed my turn just by hitting the spacebar there. Potion of Stunning. I like that it lets you hit or bump into things and swing at them, knowing that they are potentially... Oh my gosh, this room is just riddled with traps. Scholar's Amulet. So that was our big reward from this dungeon place right here. This isn't what we were looking for, because I only found this place because I talked with somebody in town. I don't want to step on those traps because those traps can mess you up. As he walks on a trap and takes 100 points of damage because he fat-fingered moving forward. Vial of blood, ew. That's just gross. All right, cool. So Busy Gamer Dad showing you guys more of Moonring. I think we're done in this dungeon. We've kind of explored everything. The only reason we found this was because we talked to somebody in town and they were all like, hey, I know this place, let me put it on your map. I'm too weak to go there, but if you go there, you know, let me know what you find. And we got our Scholar Amulet. This Noman's Hand Amulet was something I picked up from a dungeon on the first continent that I was at. Huge increase to intelligence, though. I still think that I like having the Noman's because that's just more for what our build is right now. And I think that's where I'll leave this bonus 5 intellect. So we could use a lot of different weapons and things like that if we had this on, if we were going down maybe more of a wizard build or a magic user build or something like that. And that's the wonderful nuances for this game, Moonring. Highly recommend you check it out because it's free. I'm enjoying my time with it. I think that you guys might enjoy this as well. It may not be for everybody, and I said that before. I'm not trying to down talk it or trying to put a bad warning on the tin or anything like that. I think this game is a really fun game and a really good, enjoyable narrative that is pretty in-depth. Honestly, it's pretty akin to like Wheel of Time. Like I said, just the world building is very similar in my headcanon right now for what I've uncovered, where there's this big mega society that had a collapse, and now you've gone back almost to like the arcane age of, you know, not knowing what certain things are chemistry wise, and you're living alongside in this arcane age with this high fantasy kind of world where there's machinations and automatons coming around smashing things. Like, comment, subscribe for the Busy Gamer Dad channel. Here's our dad joke on the outro. You ready? This is a really good one. My wife gave us this one. You ready? A priest, a pastor, and a rabbit enter a clinic to donate blood. The nurse asks the rabbit, "What's your blood type?" "I'm probably a type O," said the rabbit. There you go. Like, comment, subscribe, as I said. Thanks so much. Next week we'll have something new to look at for our session gameplay series. Later.